Last question I want to ask. I want to talk about, you mentioned as you're going through the perimenopause, menopause phase, even your eating needs to adjust. It needs to look a little bit different. Talk to me about if you were to tell somebody like the top 3 things to focus on that maybe they were doing before and now you know they have to do differently. What are those things that women need to start focusing on as they go through these phases?
Yeah, so number one is definitely prioritize your protein intake.
Protein
Protein is going to be big because we want you strong, right?
to build
And then
muscle.
to
Yeah.
build muscle. And as we know, when the hormones are changing, obviously you're going to have changes with your hunger too. So you're going to be
Okay.
having more cravings. You're going to be like
Fun.
you want to eat more later on, at
At night?
night.
Oh, that's real. Okay,
Usually,
this night
it's very, very
snacking.
common. And also, we talk about that insulin and cortisol. So the cortisol is a hormone that is going to make you look for salty snacks, sweet snacks, greasy snacks.
Okay.
So if those
Why? Why
hormones,
does cortisol make you want to eat?
because cortisol wants you to run. It's a stress
Oh,
hormone,
so it needs
so
the spike
it
of
needs a spike of
energy.
energy. So and for you, the trigger could be work, could be
Yeah.
like I don't know, I have a class, or things like that. But cortisol doesn't know that.
Yeah.
Cortisol is a hormone that was created for fight or flight. So
Yeah.
before it was like, well, a lion is coming and it's gonna eat me. I have to run.
Yeah.
So right now we don't have lions, but we have jobs, we have kids, we
We have jobs, guys.
we have a partner.
Who signed us up for this?
There's gonna be something that's gonna make our cortisol go up. So because of these, cortisol is like you have to run. So you need to prepare your body for that.
So you're going to face more cravings.
Yeah.
Because of the excess of higher cortisol,
Higher cortisol.
and you're going to generally crave something that gives you quick energy, so something processed.
Exactly.
Okay.
And that's going to be unconscious. You're not going to feel it. It's just going to be like your body.
Okay, so ladies, that is real. You are going to feel, this is actually really interesting because I think a lot of people are like, I don't know why I'm always craving things.
Yeah.
So this is going to happen.
Yeah.
So just be prepared for it. So protein is going to give you muscle and
and it's
keep
going
you
to
fuller.
help. Exactly.
Okay.
So protein is going to help you keep you fuller, so you can control cravings in a better way.
Okay.
So you are not having that desire of like I'm hungry all the time. So you
That's
have
number
to
one.
prioritize your protein.
Okay.
Number two, you have to prioritize your fiber. Your fiber too, because fiber is going to be your veggies, it's going to be your fruit, your whole foods are going to be super important. Fiber also helps to keep you full. And also, it has all your vitamins, all your nutrients that are very important for your body. So during this period of time, it's going to be very important also.
More than when you're younger, probably, right? Is it so? It's mainly because of the fullness. Fiber gives you like the needed.
Helps a lot with fullness, right? The key is that it helps more if you pair it with protein.
We're like a broken record. Protein, 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 fiber, protein.
Right. If there's something, it's going to be protein, and your fiber for sure. Now, the third one is going to be to choose your carbs wisely.
Choose your carbs wisely. I like that.
The reason why is because we think that all the carbs are bad and we stay away from all the carbs. But the reality is that some carbs are pretty good for us, right?
Okay.
So what we call the complex carbs, which are the carbs that have a little bit more of fiber, in them, and then
so the complex we want complex carbs. Explain the difference really quickly for somebody who doesn't know the difference between carbs, because they are different. Explain the difference really quickly on what they're called and then what to look for.
So a simple carb. So we have simple carbs and complex carbs, right? So simple carb is a carb that is very, very, very processed already, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where you're gonna have like your white bread, your white rice, your cookies,
even white rice counts as a simple.
Even your cakes, So these are carbs that what's gonna happen is that we eat them, we get full. Then we spike a big, like your insulin spikes, your sugar spikes, but because they're simple, they're gonna come down pretty fast. So then an hour later, you're gonna be hungry again because they didn't provide that control over your satiety or over your hunger. So then it's just creating those spikes throughout your day. The more simple carbs you eat, the worse it's gonna get because you already have that insulin spike anyways. And then
I've heard cortisol. The more insulin spikes you have, the more your body craves sugar.
Totally.
So if you, which is why they say if you start your morning with
sugar,
simple sugar, you crave sugar all day. So you really want to avoid. Okay,
you want to avoid that.
So simple sugar is anything. It's like what it sounds. Anything that looks like it's easy to grab and super processed.
Exactly. So that's simple sugar versus complex sugar. Complex carbs. A complex carb is, it has fiber in it. So this is going to be your brown rice, your quinoa, your oatmeal, even like beans,
Like
so they're
bananas, I'm
gonna be
assuming.
bananas can be a little bit of mix,
Okay, yeah, because it's a high
because
sugar.
it's fruit, right?
Okay.
But still, it's gonna be way better than a donut,
Yeah.
So it's a quality, right?
Yeah.
So it's the quality and the quantity. So then, a complex carb, what it's gonna do is that you eat them, and then it's gonna spike your insulin, but not as high because of the fiber content, and then it's gonna keep it, and then it's gonna go down.
So does fiber just like absorb some of the sugar? What does it do?
Well, fiber is a type of sugar too. Actually.
Yeah, it's like because if you read carbohydrates on the back of a package, you'll see there's added sugars and then there's fiber, and they take fiber. So
fiber is a type of of sugar as well. But what it does is that it kind of like creates a bulk in your body, in your stomach. So then it helps, so digestion can be slower. It helps you with your bowel movements.
Because it helps digest it slower.
So then basically, when you eat it, when you eat these type of carbs, then there's going to be that spike, but it's going to be sustainable, and then it's going to go down. So then you're going to be fuller for a longer period of time, versus a simple carb is just this and this, and then you're going to be hungry later on. So that's a big difference, because if you choose complex carbs, then you're going to feel full for a longer period of time versus a simple carb. Okay. And it's going to be way more nutritious for your body.
So you said one is your protein intake.
Yeah.
Because you want to make sure that it helps with keeping you full longer and build muscle. 2 is fiber for fullness and to not spike your insulin too much, your sugar. And then 3 is going to be choose your carbs wisely. So shoot for those complex carbs, which also goes in line with the insulin. Right? Okay. If you guys are loving this conversation, which I have so many more questions for you, we're having a actual free workshop for you guys, a free menopause workshop on October 5th with LMD. It's going to be with you and Dr. Hendrick. This is going to be a good time for you guys to come ask more questions or leave them in the comments, and we'll answer them there as well.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.